Hey designer, Alex here. Welcome to this course about Inception design system for Adobe XD. If you want to check out the full playlist with all the videos, make sure to click here or to click down in the description below. Link is going to be there. So enjoy this lesson. In the previous video, I showed you how to work with Inception design system light file, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to work with master file. It's a little bit different, but you can achieve the same results right here. But once again, because it's a bit bigger in file size, it's going to work a little bit slower on slower machines. So if you have a slower machine, make sure to work with light files and to use preview images to accommodate that you have a slower machine. So let's get started. So here we are in Inception design system master file, and once again the key difference between master file and light file is the smaller file size of the light file. That's why it's called light file, and of course that you can see all of these elements inside of your master file. So just try both of them and see what works for you, because you can achieve exactly the same results in all of them. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let me first collect all of these atoms and molecules. So you can work locally right here as well, same like in light file. So not to show everything, you can watch that video, but you can simply duplicate this, and then you can position all of these elements right here as well. So let me quickly delete this. Let's go with templates, let's go with large, and let's go with navigation, for example, nav number 1. Let's place it to the top, and let's go with hero section, for example. Let's use hero number 7. Position it right here and make sure to place it right here on top. And if your client doesn't like this, for example, you can simply replace it. You can drag and drop it in place. You can position it like that. And let's use this one, for example. So in case you want to change this image, you can drag and drop this inside, and let's switch to layers mode. Click right here, and if you want to change this image to make it look different, you can click right here where it says default state. It's going to take you to this particular image, and then you can make these changes right here. And in terms of images, what I want to show you, so I have this image selected like this. So in case you want to adjust it and to make a color a difference right here, what you can do is adjust it right here, and you can see in real time. Let me hide myself. As I update these colors, they are updating right here, but that's not actually what you want to do. What you do want to do is make these changes to your colors right here. So you can see which color this is. So let's go back, edit, undo, fill. And if I click right here, let me hide myself again, you can see it's EEF to F4. That's why we have these right here. So it's this marble color. So I would recommend you to change your color right here inside of the marble color, and it's going to update on all of these images. But what you can do right here is, let's say you want to adjust this corner radius. So let's say I want to do 100. For whatever reason, and wherever this image is used, it's going to update to 100. So you can see it right here and right here and right here on these two, on this one, on this one, on these two. So that's the whole point of using this master file, because you can see all of these changes happening in real time. But in light file, they are going to happen in real time. You're just not going to be able to see them because they're all hidden right here. You can still use them, but you cannot preview them in real time. So that's the key difference between working locally with master file and with light file. But master file has additional advantage. You can use this exactly the same advantage in light file as well, but I would recommend you to use it inside of the master file, because you are able to see these changes happening in real time inside of your file. So once again, you are the one who is going to pick and choose if you want to use master or light file. And that's it if you want to create these libraries. So you can click publish as a library, and I'm going to do just that. So you can click right here, and I have my Inception design system right here, and you can use on any one of these. So I have this test one, and if I want to delete one, I can hit delete right here, and I want to delete this one as well because I want to create a new one. So we have Inception design system master file right here. So all you need to do is hit publish right here, and once again, depending of your internet connection and how many changes you created, if you included additional images inside of your design system, if you included additional elements, if I add additional elements in the future, it's going to take more or less. But without any further ado, simply hit publish. and you can save this as a cloud document. So this is the first thing that you have to do. So you can continue, and you're going to notice in just a second it's going to appear a cloud icon right here on the left hand side, which is going to indicate that this is actually turned into a cloud document. So now that it is, I have this option right here, so I can click, I can rename it if I want to, but basically it's saved as a cloud document. Now what I want to do is come right here and click on it. And now I have this option to create libraries. So you don't have access to existing library, leaks may be broken. So that's why because I deleted the previous one just to show you in this example. So it's going to save. And it's saving as a cloud document. You can see this cloud icon right here, so it shows connection status. So it's going to update in just a second, and it's going to save as a cloud document. And now that it's finished saving, you can hit this publish button. So you don't have access to the existing library, create new. That's because I simply deleted that one. Can view and use, or can edit, which is really important, because if you want other designers to be able to edit this, then you can simply click can edit, and you want to share this with all other designers in your team. You can share this with clients, you can share this with developers, or if you simply want somebody to preview how everything looks like, then make sure to choose can view and use. They can use it, but they cannot edit it. They don't have this master version that you have, and that's really important. You can hit publish, and you can see right here it says publishing, and you have this status right here at the top. So when it publishes, you and everybody from your team will be able to use it. And now that it's finished publishing, what you can do is share it, and other designers can get a link to this file, and they can simply access it, or your clients or whatever. And then you can also create a new library, and you can use elements from this library inside of that own library, and so much more. You can browse if you have different libraries. You can search libraries right here, which is amazing feature of Adobe XD because it's part of Adobe family. So you can use these libraries in Illustrator, you can use them in Photoshop, and you can use them right here. So you can see it's uploading now because this file is quite huge. But basically, when you create these libraries, when you update them, you can share them with as many people as you want. You can have a big team, you can have a small team, you can share this library with clients, and then they can easily make changes in real time, for example to the text, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So once it's uploaded and it says up to date, as I said, you can share it with your teammates. You can create another library from this library. So just to quickly show you how it works, if you go back to home and if you create a new document, let's say 1920 by 1080, and you can enlarge it. And what you need to do is save it as a cloud document. So let's give it a quick name. So let's call it our website, for example. Hit save. It's important for it to be a cloud document, and sometimes it's going to give you this arrow just because it has issues connecting, but those issues are nothing to be concerned about at all. So what I'm going to do is switch back to here, and I'm going to take this artboard, Control C, go back to this file, hit Control V, and just remove this original artboard size like so. So now that we have grid large, what you can do actually is here we have our local components, and you can see that this is a linked component. It's up to date because it's from the library Inception Design System master file, and that's the library that we just created. So to access it later, here we have document assets, but you can go to libraries, and here is our library. So if I click right here, and any designer from your team, client from your team, developer from your team has access to this library like you did because you shared it with them. And of course, once again, you can change these sharing settings as you are creating this library. You can of course give it a different name. It's Inception because it's my product and I just named it like that, but of course you can change it to your client's name, to your client's project name, whatever. And the key thing right here is you're using these components from here. So let's extend this. I'm going to get rid of this because I want to show you how it looks like with templates. One annoying thing is it opens up like this, but let's quickly collapse this master group called atoms and molecules like so. and I'm going to do the same with the flowcharts, and it's just going to leave me with my templates. So I'm going to use the same navigation. So let's say nav number 1, but now you can see that it's copy. So it's a child component, not a master component. Why? Because it's taking this component from your master file. What that means is everybody from your team can use this component, drag and drop it, play around with it, but when it actually comes the time for it to be changed, then you have to change it in your master file. So to show you how that works, let's use hero section. So let's use, I don't know, hero number 5, for example. I think we used that. Yes, we did. So what you can do here is, because you can see these linked documents, if you need to change something big, so for example, a corner radius of this image, and you can double click there to access that. And once you click here, take a look at what happens. So if I click edit main component, it's going to take me to my master file, which is this file. It's going to locate it right here. So it's image large 6 column. It's going to show me that image right here. So if I zoom in all the way out, and let's say I want to edit the corner radius of this image, so I can click right here and I can change it by holding shift to something like this. And then when I switch back to my file, you can see that nothing has happened, but that's because I need to make a change. So how can you do that? You have to actually find it right here, but the easier way is to switch to your master file like this. And then once you actually make your change, so let's go back to something like this. Let's go to, I don't know, 20. You can see this icon right here. So when you click on that icon, you can see you have to update it, and everybody in your team is going to have this exact notification. So when you hit update, let me actually take you first to see this file, so nothing is going to change. But when I click update, it's going to take a bit of time for it to update, because once again we have all of these components working in the background, and now once again it says it's up to date. So if I close this and then switch back to our cloud document, you can now see that we have this blue link right here. So in order for you to find it, you have to click right here, and then you have to switch to document assets, and here you go. You have hero 5 update, which is this component, and you have image large 6 column, which is this component right here. So how can you update? It's quite simple. Simply hit update all right here. And it's quite important for you to do so, because every time you make that change is going to transition in real time. And it's quite important because everybody from your design team and your clients and developers will be able to make these changes. So you can work as a team, you can design in the cloud in real time, all of you can make changes in real time. So it's really important to keep track as to what everybody else is doing and which changes have been made to this particular design. So every time you make a smaller change, like text change, for example, so in this case it says Inception design system, let's say our awesome website, like this, for example, this does not require for you to go back to the original file, because text really changes natively everywhere else. And for example, it says explore now, but if I say something like by now, you can see that it changed in real time. But if you want to access this component and all of these additional states, you can see that they didn't change. You can of course change it here. So let's actually remind ourselves what I created by now. So I can click right here, by now. And if I switch back to the default state, if I preview this prototype like you would usually on your computer, you can see that it works and our awesome website is there, this is there. But majority of these changes for main components, for big components like images, like for example mockups, like the logo, like these company logos and all of these things, like for example animation that you've done to accordions, and all of these components have to be changed in the master component. That way everybody in your team is able to access all of these changes and has latest updates. So for example, if somebody has work on other project and has to go back to this project in 2 days time, for example, they can simply hit update and see every single update that all of the members of the team have made. So if you're working alone, perhaps this is not really that useful for you, but if you're working as part of the team, if you're working inside of the agency and you have multiple designers, this is really crucial, because all of of you inside of that team can keep track as to what everybody else has done. So that's how simple this is to work with libraries, with cloud documents, make these changes, track these changes, and of course you can invite designers right here. So you can invite to this document, you can invite everybody from your team, and everybody can contribute to this particular document asset, to this particular library, and to this particular design system. But once again, as I said at the beginning, if you don't want to work with this and you want to work with this master file locally, you don't even need to save it as a cloud document. You have all of these components and options right here. You can simply work right here. So you can unzoom, you can position these however you want. You can even delete them from here, or you can simply go back to the light file and work with light file and simply work locally with all of these files. But especially if you're part of a team, if you're part of a remote team, even if you're part of the team which is located in same agency, it's extremely simple and light to work with these libraries, because you can share these files with your teammates, with your clients, stakeholders, and especially developers. And I didn't actually touch that, so let's actually change back and see how can we work with developers. So once again, when you select this, you have the same option as with the light file. So you can click share, and it's going to create the public link. So you can share this and you can change the name of this flow right here. When it finishes creating the public link, you can see that the shareable link has been created. You can open it up in browser and you can change the name right here. So our website, like that, for example, and you can double click right here to share it right here. So our website, like that, and you can update this link, and anyone with the link can access it, or only invited people. So depending on your situation and project, you can also share this on Behance. You can embed it, and you can copy link, or you can copy embed code if you want to embed it into a website. And finally, you can share it for a design review if you want to get feedback from clients or stakeholders. Share for development, it's extremely useful for developers, this option, because it's going to give them the spacings, margins, paddings, all of these things, colors used, font sizes and fonts, all of these icons and logos, and much more. Presentation, if you want to present this to the stakeholders, for example, or if you are taking this to presentation to pitch for potential clients or something like that. User testing is really important because it removes all of these options for users, so they have to manage for themselves. It removes the navigation, for example, so they have to figure out how to navigate this, and you can get their feedback when you share for user testing. And finally, we have this custom option, so you can choose any one of these, but in majority of times you're going to use design review to share with clients, development to share with developers, and user testing to share with users. So that's how easy it is. So basically prototype it right here, share it right here, and design it right here. In the next video, we are going to talk about updates and versions, and how can you keep track of the updates which you're going to bring to this design system in the future. So I'll see you there. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to check out the previous one from this playlist, make sure to click right here, or to check out the next one from this playlist, make sure to click right here. If you want to see full playlist for all videos from this course, make sure to check down in the description below. Link for the full playlist is going to be down there in case you missed something.